When asked about his lack of friends, a Stoic man likened friendship to a diamond, elusive and precious. He said, "Friendships are rare, valuable, and often surrounded by imitations. After a few errors in judgment, you begin to believe that all friendships are mere illusions, just fakes." Building on this sentiment, another individual observed, "True friends are treasures to be held dear, yet it's seldom that we find a friend in life whom we can truly hold in such high regard." But what does it mean when you find yourself often alone, navigating a world that seems to overflow with connections? Does a lack of friends indicate something deeper, something inherent in who you are? Today, we'll dive into this delicate topic, exploring the nuanced world of friendships, or the lack thereof. We'll look at the complexities of modern social dynamics and how they influence our relationships. Remember, not having a sea of friends doesn't reflect your worth. Sometimes it's about finding that one true gem. Stay with us as we dive into understanding why some struggle to find these connections, explore the root causes, and most importantly, unveil practical Stoic steps to forge authentic, lasting friendships. Just like a sculptor chisels away at stone to reveal a masterpiece, you too can shape your social worlds, carving out meaningful relationships that stand the test of time. So, stay focused and let's embark on this journey together through the lens of Stoicism, with open minds and hearts ready to learn, grow, and connect. 1. Shyness or introversion. We are wired to be social creatures, yet for many the maze of social interactions feels like a puzzle with missing pieces. Shyness or introversion is often seen as a hurdle in this journey, but let's flip the script. Imagine seeing these traits not as barriers, but as unique vantage points to view the world. In the heart of Stoic wisdom lies the art of turning perceived weaknesses into strengths. The first step is embracing your nature. Remember Marcus Aurelius, who whispered through time, "Accept the things to which fate binds you." Your introversion isn't a flaw, it's a quiet power. It's about realizing that your journey is different, not less. When you accept yourself, you break free from the chains of what-ifs and should-bes. This self-acceptance is your armor in the bustling world of social interactions, making you unshakable in your quiet confidence. Now, let's talk about the present moment. You're at a gathering, feeling the familiar tug of shyness. Here's where Stoicism shines. It tells you, focus on what's in your control. Your control lies in your actions, your words, your kindness, not in others' thoughts or the final outcome. When you speak, do it not to impress, but to express. This shift in focus from fear of judgment to the authenticity of your words lightens the load, making conversations less of a battleground and more of a playground for genuine connections. Additionally, understand that friendship isn't a trophy to win, but a garden to nurture. In seeking connections, detach yourself from the need for immediate results. Like Seneca, who saw life as a journey, view each interaction as a step on your path, not as a test of your worth. By concentrating on being your authentic self, you make space for relationships that resonate with your true self. Remember, in the Stoic view, every person you meet is a chance to learn, grow, and reflect, not just another friend to add to your list. Through the lens of Stoicism, shyness and introversion transform from shadows into sources of strength. It's not about overcoming these traits, but about understanding and using them to navigate the complex world of human relationships. 2. Trust issues. When navigating the maze of friendships, trust issues often loom large. It's like walking on a tightrope, balancing your own values with the unpredictability of others. Trust is not given out like free samples at a store. It's earned piece by piece. Start by understanding yourself. What makes you tick? What scares you? Being clear about who you are is like having a compass in the wilderness of relationships. It's about knowing when to open the door to someone and when to keep it shut. Remember how a tree stands firm. It knows its roots. Just like that tree, know your roots, your values. This self-knowledge is your anchor in the ever-changing tides of human connections. Recognize that people, like seasons, change. Someone might seem trustworthy today and turn around tomorrow. This isn't a call to build walls around your heart, but rather to acknowledge that the only constant is change. Keep your emotional balance. If trust is broken, it's not the end of the world. It's an opportunity to learn and grow stronger. This doesn't mean you become cold and distant. Instead, it's about being realistic, understanding that perfection is a myth, especially in human behavior. Be like water, adapting, flowing, yet always true to your nature. Open, honest communication is your best tool. If doubts creep in, talk about them. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, things become clearer. Don't shy away from these conversations. They're the bridges that can lead to deeper, more meaningful connections. A conversation can turn a misunderstanding into a moment of clarity. But remember, it's a two-way street. Listen as much as you speak. This balance of speaking and listening creates a rhythm, a dance of words and understanding that strengthens the bonds of friendship. Ultimately, it's about building a circle of friends where trust is the foundation, not an afterthought. 3. Lack of social opportunities. Navigating through the maze of modern life, one might stumble upon a quiet truth, which is that the lack of friends isn't always about not meeting people, but often about not engaging with the world around us. Our phones buzz with notifications, but our hearts yearn for real connections. Picture this. Volunteering in your community isn't just about helping others. It's a gateway to meeting souls who care about the same things you do. Whether you're planting trees or organizing books at a local library, every shared task is a thread weaving you into the social fabric. These actions reflect a stoic virtue, contributing to the greater good, and in doing so, you find companions on the same path. But let's not forget the power of shared knowledge and passions. Imagine entering a room where everyone speaks the language of your profession or hobby. Workshops and seminars related to your interests aren't just for adding lines to your resume. They're fertile grounds for friendships. In these spaces, conversations flow effortlessly as you're surrounded by those who understand the nuances of your work or passion. It's like finding your tribe, where professional growth and personal connections go hand in hand. Remember also to embrace the great outdoors as your social canvas. Activities like hiking, biking, or group yoga aren't just for physical health, they're catalysts for connection. In the embrace of nature, conversations bloom like wildflowers. These activities strip away the formalities of typical social settings, allowing genuine connections to grow. And while you're out there, practice gratitude for the world around you and for those who share these moments with you. It's not about having a multitude of friends, it's about cherishing the connections that add color to your life. This approach, rooted in simplicity and sincerity, turns the pursuit of friendships into a fulfilling journey. 4. Lack of social skills. Friendships don't form themselves. They require effort and the right approach, something often overlooked in our busy lives. A lack of social skills can be a significant barrier to forming meaningful friendships. Remember how Marcus Aurelius subtly urged us to love those fate brings into our lives? It's a nudge towards embracing social opportunities, however small. Begin with manageable steps. Strike up a conversation in a coffee shop, join a local club, or engage in online communities with shared interests. These small interactions are the building blocks of confidence in social settings. Like a plant needing water and sunlight, social skills need nurturing and patience to flourish. One key element in developing social skills is listening with intent and empathy. In a world where everyone wants to be heard, being the one who listens sets you apart. Ask questions not just to respond, but to understand. Dive into the stories of others with genuine curiosity. This shift in focus, from how you're perceived to truly understanding others, builds deeper connections. It's not about impressing others with your wit or stories, but about creating a space where others feel valued and heard. Additionally, embrace the ups and downs of social interactions with a stoic calm. Not every attempt at conversation will lead to a lifelong friendship. And that's okay. Each interaction, whether it blossoms into a friendship or fizzles out, is a step forward in your social journey. The rejection isn't a reflection of your worth, but a natural part of human interaction. With each experience, you're not only building your social skills, but also learning to navigate the complex tapestry of human relationships with grace and resilience. Remember, your worth isn't tied to the number of friends you have, but the quality of the connections you nurture. 5. Changing circumstances. At times, the lack of friends in our lives can echo the tale of the boy and the apple tree. The story mirrors how our priorities shift as we age, often drifting away from connections that once meant the world to us. As children, our friendships are like the playful times with the tree, pure and unburdened. But as we grow, like the boy, our focus shifts to what we perceive as essentials: money, status, a home. In this pursuit, we may unintentionally neglect the friendships that once sheltered us, like the apple tree providing shade. This shift in priorities isn't unusual. It's part of growing up, of evolving. But often, in chasing what we think we need, we overlook what we already have. The boy returned to the tree only when he needed something, not realizing the constant, uncomplaining friendship it offered. Similarly, in our hustle for success and stability, we might overlook the friends who are our silent supporters. The result? A void, filled with accomplishments perhaps, but lacking in true, heartfelt connections. Rebuilding or nurturing friendships requires a conscious effort, much like tending to a garden. It's not about grand gestures, but consistent small acts of kindness and understanding. Start with reaching out, initiating conversations, and being there, not just in happy moments, but also in times of need. Remember, friendships, like trees, grow deep roots over time, not overnight. The boy and the tree story teaches us that friendship is a two-way street, needing care and attention from both sides. Don't be the boy who remembered the tree only in times of need. Be the one who cherishes and nurtures these relationships regularly. 6. Shifting priorities or growth. In our ever-changing lives, where we juggle careers, education, and personal growth, the shifting of priorities often acts as a silent architect in the construction or decline of friendships. Stoicism, a philosophy as relevant today as in ancient times, teaches us to embrace life's dynamic nature. Imagine your life as a river, constantly flowing and changing course. As you navigate through the rapids of career advancement or the serene waters of family life, your time for social interactions naturally ebbs and flows. This isn't a failure on your part. It's simply the reality of a life lived fully. Stoicism offers practical guidance for these times of transition. When your days are packed with meetings, deadlines, or family responsibilities, it's tempting to try and maintain a wide circle of friends. Yet, Stoicism advises quality over quantity. It's better to have a few deep, meaningful connections than numerous superficial ones. This approach isn't about cutting people out, but rather about focusing your energy where it matters most. In doing so, you honor not only your time, but also the time of others, fostering relationships that are genuine and fulfilling. Adapting to life's changing priorities with Stoicism doesn't mean resigning yourself to a life with fewer friends. Instead, it's about understanding and accepting the natural flow of relationships. Some friends may drift away, while others will stay or even come into your life precisely because of your new priorities. Embrace this journey with wisdom and courage. Remember, each person you meet, whether they stay for a season or a lifetime, adds unique value to your life's tapestry. Be present in your interactions, and let Stoicism guide you to build friendships that are not only meaningful, but also resonate with the person you are becoming. 7. Mental well-being. Our mental well-being, often sidelined in the hustle of life, is a silent cornerstone in the architecture of friendships. Stoicism, a philosophy not just of ancient marble but of modern-day resilience, sheds light on this. It's not about stiff upper lips, but about understanding our mental landscape. When our inner world is clouded by anxiety or shadowed by depression, it's like trying to navigate a social maze in the dark. The Stoics teach us to light a torch, not to dispel the darkness completely, but to see a path through it. Just as George Carlin pointed out, beneath the surface of a cynical outlook lies a disappointed idealist. This isn't about wearing rose-colored glasses, but recognizing that our mental battles can inadvertently build walls, not bridges, between us and potential friends. Now, let's get practical. Stoicism isn't about quoting Marcus Aurelius while sipping a latte. It's about actionable steps. First, mindfulness. And no, it's not a fancy word for daydreaming. It's about being present. In a world where our attention is the hottest commodity, being fully present in a conversation is like giving a rare gift. It shows you care, and that's friendship currency. Also, meditation isn't just for monks. It's for everyone juggling life's demands. The benefits of 10 minutes a day extend beyond your brain. It signals to others that you value clarity and calm. Consequently, tranquility as a goal might sound like a luxury in our 24/7 world, but it's the bedrock for stable friendships. Tranquility isn't escaping to a beach. Oftentimes than not, it's finding peace amid chaos. It's about having an anchor so that when life storms hit, and they will, you're not swept away. Friends aren't just for sunny days, they are shelters in storms. By striving for inner calm, you become someone others want to turn to. Stoicism teaches us that this inner tranquility is attainable through self-reflection and consistency. It's about recognizing our emotions, understanding them, and not letting them dictate our actions. This doesn't mean being emotionless. Rather, it's about being in control of how we react to our emotions. When you master this, you become a beacon of stability in an often unpredictable world. People are naturally drawn to those who exude a sense of calm and understanding. By cultivating your inner peace, you inadvertently create a welcoming space for friendships to flourish. Remember, in the pursuit of mental well-being, you're not just nurturing your mind, but also sowing the seeds for deeper, more meaningful connections. 8. Lifestyle choices. Life's rapid pace often leads to a solitary path where friendships fade into the background. Picture this: you're chasing deadlines, ticking off to-do lists, but at day's end, the chair across from you at the dinner table remains empty. It's not just about being busy, it's about what you prioritize. Stoicism nudges us to look hard at our choices. Are you filling your hours with what truly matters? Reflecting on this can be a game changer. It's about finding the courage to say no to time stealers that don't serve your deeper need for connection. Now consider this approach. Shape your day like a sculptor crafting a masterpiece. Each choice is a chisel stroke, carving out time for both responsibilities and relationships. It's not about stretching your day to fit more in, but rather about sculpting it wisely. You might have fewer hours for socializing, but the quality of these moments can soar. By selecting the right people, those who resonate with your values, every interaction becomes more meaningful. It's about depth, not just breadth, in your social world. Remember the Stoic art of balance. It's not just about dividing your time equally, but aligning it with what makes life genuinely fulfilling. Picture your life as a mosaic, with each piece representing an aspect of your existence. Work, hobbies, rest, and friendships, each holds a place. Your task is to arrange these tiles to create a harmonious pattern. It's a balancing act, one that requires constant adjustment and thought. But when you get it right, the picture of your life becomes not only beautiful, but deeply satisfying. 9. Differences in interests. Diverse interests can be like different musical notes, each unique but part of a larger melody. When interests clash, it's not just a missed note, it's a potential symphony of connections left unplayed. Suppose you love rock music, but your colleague loves classical music. There's a gap, sure, but it's also a bridge waiting to be crossed. Stoicism nudges us to embrace these differences, not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones to broader horizons. It whispers, "Find the harmony in discord." When we focus solely on our interests, we risk crafting a bubble that limits our worldview and our circle of friends. By opening our arms to the diversity of passions around us, we're not just learning about new hobbies, we're unlocking doors to new relationships and perspectives. There's a saying, variety is the spice of life. Stoicism encourages this curiosity, reminding us that every person we meet holds a universe of experiences, ideas, and passions. Suppose you're a die-hard gamer and your neighbor is into gardening. Instead of nodding and walking away, ask about their favorite plant. Show interest in their world. It's not about pretending to love gardening, it's about appreciating their passion, and in turn, allowing them to see and appreciate yours. This mutual curiosity is a powerful glue bonding people with different interests. It's about understanding that beneath these hobbies and passions, we share common threads of excitement, dedication, and joy. Stoicism serves as a compass, guiding us to seek common ground in shared values and human emotions, rather than just common interests. Imagine a world where friendships are not just based on liking the same things, but on understanding and valuing each other's differences. It's a world where a sports enthusiast and a bookworm can find common ground in their perseverance and love for learning. In this dance of friendship, Stoicism teaches us to lead with an open heart and an open mind, creating connections that are not just about what we do, but who we are and what we can become together. Remember, the richness of our friendships is not measured by how similar we are, but by how we embrace and grow from our differences. Stoicism isn't about hiding your feelings, it's about understanding and directing them. Be open to seeking the friendships that resonate with your heart. I'll tell you 8 bad things that can happen to you if you're too nice, and I'll show you 4 tough ways to keep people from taking advantage of you. Let's move on to number 1 without further ado. You will have too high of hopes for people. The Stoics said that we should accept things as they are and not depend on what other people do to make us happy. Giving without asking too much in return keeps you from being disappointed and helps you practice emotional separation, which gives you a calmer mind. Whether we are aware of it or not, it's hard for us to be fully selfless when we give. When we give everything we have, we expect everyone else to do the same. When it's us who need something important, though, you've gotten people so used to having everything done for them that they'll take it for granted that you can handle everything in their lives and yours, especially your own, because if you don't take care of your own, why would you take care of other people's? In reality, your hopes of reciprocity won't be met, and you'll end up with a bad mood, tiredness, anger, and sadness. Still, if we look at it objectively, people aren't letting you down. They're just doing what you should be doing, which is taking care of their own tasks. People will only expect you to give them something, which is the second point. The Stoics say that it's important to remember that real worth comes from acting in a way that is good and logical, not from just doing what other people want. Moderation and giving in a balanced way help you stay in charge of your actions and keep you from getting into habits that hurt your mental health. You've heard your whole life that people are creatures of habit, and this couldn't be more true. People are made to adapt to a pattern, a way of life, and a symphony of things going on around them. The idea of the comfort zone comes from this desire to change. This means that if you're always giving, the people you help will expect you to give them something all the time. You'll lead them into their comfort zones, and they won't have to do many of their responsibilities because you'll be there to do them. If you don't value yourself, no one is likely to look you in the eyes and tell you to think more about yourself. At least don't expect this kind of empathy from the people you help, because they'd stick to their own Robin Hood, which would cost them a lot in their lives. Third, your goals will not be taken into account. The Stoics said that it's important to live by reason and virtue, to set limits, and to put our own responsibilities first if we want to stay in balance and not give up our identity and well-being for other people. If you put everyone else's needs before your own, you may end up running away from something inside you that hurts and scares you. How do you feel when you spend the weekend alone or come home every day knowing no one is there to greet you? If you're doing so many different things because you want to get away from yourself, the blow will be twice as hard because, on the one hand, you'll have to face yourself sooner or later, and on the other, your bad mood will get worse as you start to put other people's needs before your own. Self-care is one of the most important parts of being healthy. Before you can help others feel better, you need to make sure you're happy, spoiled, and well cared for. That is, you should never give someone a chocolate unless you've first really enjoyed one yourself. Similarly, you shouldn't offer to clean a friend's house until you've cleaned your own and watched a good movie while sipping wine. The rest of the world comes after you. 4. People will think you are weak and treat you that way. Stoicism tells us to work on being strong and in charge of ourselves. By setting limits and practicing self-discipline, we can show others that we are committed to our own responsibilities and ideals, earning their respect instead of being seen as weak. If you help other people too much over time, you might be seen as an expert in the area where you work with other people. You might be making the exact opposite impression. When you don't set limits, people start to see you as weak, just like the person who opposes a boss. So much so that they'll come to you to get rid of their responsibilities because they know you won't say no. On the contrary, as soon as you use this magic word, they will start to feel something for you. They never thought they would. Respect. You'll have a lot of buts, or people who only come to you when they need something. Stoicism teaches us how important it is to be smart and wise. By choosing who to help with self-control and perspective, we can tell the difference between real people and those who want to take advantage, so we don't waste our time or energy on things that don't help. People who thought you were a good friend all of a sudden only want to hang out with you when they need something. If you think about it logically, it's not so unlikely that this could happen to you, since most people don't invite their employees or co-workers to have coffee with them, let alone a beer. What's going on with you makes sense, but that doesn't mean it's fair. So, you need to learn how to handle the methods I'll tell you about at the end to keep people from taking advantage of you. 6th, you'll only get people who want something and never those who want to give. With patient judgment, we can build relationships that are real and good for both parties. People come into our lives because their energies match up with ours. That is, if we vibrate low, we attract people who are negative, depressed, have dark souls, and want to hurt us. When our vibrations are high, on the other hand, we draw people who are full of good energy, kindness, excitement, hard work, and joy. Because of this, when we give to everyone, we lose so much energy that we start vibrating at a low frequency. This makes needy people feel drawn to us, as well as opportunists who don't even want to help and only want to take what they can from us and leave without even saying thank you. 7. You could end up getting hooked on something. The Stoics taught people to be calm and in charge of themselves. Self-discipline in giving keeps us from getting stuck in bad habits and lets us keep a good relationship with our actions and choices. When shortage is a regular part of our lives, the need for something grows, which is the best way to get addicted. So, one day, someone close to you might notice that you drink too much and not just spring waiter. They might also notice that you eat too much or even gamble too much. Pay close attention to what someone who cares about you says, because your first instinct may be to get mad at them and tell them you don't have any problems. But this is how people usually act when they are so caught up in their own problems that they can't see that they have one. Always remember that people who care about you want what's best for you, so pay close attention to what they say because they're trying to help you stop falling and move forward. Number 8, you'll make people think twice. Stoicism tells us to do good things no matter what other people think of us. By focusing on living in line with our beliefs and principles, We build a good image that can withstand false accusations. No matter how much we'd like things to be different, the truth is that there aren't that many kind people in the world. So, if you are one, people will be suspicious of you instead of being impressed and thankful. It won't be long before your kindness makes people wonder what's going on with you and what plans you have that you don't tell anyone about. This could mean you've met a group of suspicious people, but it's more likely that they're just being honest. Most people who want to help too much are hiding such evil plans that it's best to stay away from them and refuse the help they offer. Now, let's look at what you can do to stop people from taking advantage of you. Strategy number 1. Pay attention to how you feel because it's telling you something. Based on the Stoic idea of self-awareness, pay attention to how you feel. The Stoics thought it was important to think about yourself to understand your feelings and wants. By paying attention to your feelings, you can tell if you're giving too much and wearing yourself out mentally. This lets you change your focus and find a good balance. How does it make you feel to help other people? Thinking about yourself and putting yourself first is such a kind thing to do that you should feel like you're walking on clouds when you do it. So, if you feel too busy, tired, angry, or used, it's time to listen to how you feel. If something you don't have to do makes you feel so bad, you shouldn't lie to yourself about it. Instead, find out how the help you're giving affects your health. Plan number 2. Don't be afraid of the word no. Following the lessons of the Stoics, you should realize that your time and energy are important and need to be used in a balanced way. Self-control can be shown by being able to say no when you feel too busy or when the request is unfair. Even though the word no makes us think of bad things and sadness, it's normal for us to find it hard to say it. But if we don't learn to say this word when someone wants more from us than we can give, pessimism will take over our lives. Practice in front of the mirror and tell yourself that it's the only way to regain your freedom and avoid unnecessary and possible risks. Strategy 3. You have a time and a place for yourself. Respect them. Following the Stoic values of self-discipline and self-respect, it's important to give yourself time and room to take care of yourself. Do what you like exercise, drawing, listening to music while having a cup of tea, or anything else that gets you going. Finish your responsibilities as soon as you can so you can try this out. You should take this very seriously, so seriously that you should schedule this time every day or every week. So, if someone asks for your help at that time, they need to be very kind and helpful to you, not to the person. So without remorse, you tell them no and enjoy that time and space just for yourself. If you don't want to be so direct, you can offer to help at a different time, but make it clear that you will only be able to help for a short time because you have other things to do. Strategy number 4. Identify energy vampires and distance yourself from them. Following the Stoic principles of self-discipline and wisdom, it's important to know which relationships are good for you and which can drain you mentally. By staying away from people who constantly drain your energy and don't add anything positive, you're taking care of your own health and showing Stoic self-control in your relationships. You should know that if you try to help an energy thief, it won't work. These people overwhelm you with their complaints, their pains, and their catastrophic view of life. Don't bother trying to help them, because if their problems were solved, they would have to stop complaining. That's something they wouldn't tolerate. In conclusion, according to Stoic wisdom, in life, the best measure for things is always the middle ground, and generosity is no exception. If we give too little, we come across as selfish and greedy, while if we give excessively, we end up completely drained of energy, time, and probably money as well. So lean toward the grays, which are still the best choices for finding a balance between putting other people's needs first and putting your own needs first. And if you're ever unsure, just remember the magic word, no. Even more so if they offer to drive you home from the window of their car. We've reached the end of this journey, and I sincerely hope these tips will be of great use to you. Don't forget that you are a crucial part of this channel, so if this video has helped you, made you think, or you've learned something, give it a thumbs up so that more people can discover the powers of Stoic wisdom. And if you haven't already, don't forget to check out our ebook about Stoicism and how to apply it in your own life. Subscribe for a daily dose of Stoic wisdom and growth.